Good afternoon everybody and welcome to the stream. I'm Robert from the El Magnifico Games channel, and today we're going to continue with our playthrough of the Rebirth mod for the Talos Principle. Now, since the last stream I have spent, I don't know, something like an hour and a half trying to figure out this puzzle, and I have got nowhere. The solution still eludes me. So with that in mind, I think we will start the stream with the other remaining puzzles and then come back here. So let's get into it. Another well-placed computer terminal that doesn't seem to be interactable. This is one we haven't done. Mental gymnastics. So we have a jammer. There's the sigil, teasing us from the very beginning. Obviously a force field here. I hear a fan. I see the debris that comes from the fan. There's a force field here, expecting a blue signal. Okay. Oh, there's another blue destination point here. And that goes over there to a star. Ooh. But what does that actually do? Brings down that gate, possibly. Okay. We have a red source now and a box. Another blue destination point. Can I cannot pull the fan part out of this one. I can only assume that the only use for this is to put the box on here with a connector on top, and then that presumably will give access to the red for the two other areas in this puzzle. Oh, there's the blue. I was thinking that's very strange. Okay, so we can explore a little further. Interesting, I wasn't expecting to see a purple field there. Ah, okay. So it all comes down to here, does it? This is interesting. I don't see any cables going to this force field. That suggests I'm supposed to use a jammer. Except when you consider the purple field placement and the corners we have to turn, that seems like it's going to be difficult. I realise there's a window here that we could potentially use, but it's quite high off the ground. So getting a jammer here is going to be difficult. That is interesting. I'm not 100% certain how we're supposed to solve this. Oh well. Ah, we have another jammer here. Now that's curious. What is the point? Ah, that lets us get to the box, I see. That makes me wonder, can I actually... Oh, I can see the top of the force field from here. So yes, getting a jammer in here is probably the goal then. Ah, clever. I'm guessing this force field can only be jammed, but we know this one can't, and that one presumably can't. So we just have to bring this jammer around that way. Yeah, so that's actually an important point which I didn't fully appreciate. You only have to be able to see part of the force field to be able to jam it. You don't have to be able to see, say, the bottom of it or one of the sides or what have you. Interesting. Okay. I suppose next is for us to head in here and collect the box. Where does that cable go, actually? Here, okay. So in theory, if I could get blue there now, we'd already be able to collect the star. Okay. Do I have a connector in here? I don't think I do. Which is a slight problem. But we'll see what we can do about that. Do I have any other connectors other than this one? I don't think so. Oh well, not a problem. Right. So first things first, get that set up. Right. Secondly, okay. I'm just thinking about how we're going to do this. Actually, yeah, how are we going to do this? I've half a mind to go for the star first, since it's kind of on the way. Ah, I think I see. don't think that should be too bad. Getting the timing right here. There we go. Right. Place that down. Excellent. That wasn't too bad at all. And that has actually given us a ladder back to this area. I don't know if that's going to be useful, but it is interesting. Oh, has that sealed itself again? It has. Okay, never mind. That wasn't particularly important anyway. I suppose if I was clever, I would have just used the alt use there. Never mind. Okay. In here, wasn't it? We were trying to get to. So I think we'll just grab this and pull it round. And then we can take this back in here. We could also take the box in if we had any reason to do so. But I'm not sure we do. Jam that. And with any luck, I think we're done. Excellent. That went very well. Trying to think how many we have left to do. I think other than the one that I said that I'd come back to, I think we've got 2 more sigils. Could be wrong. We've done this one. Where are the signs? Right, so there's at least 1 in this direction. Probably 2, I'm guessing. Right, so there's 1 more bronze and 1 more silver that we haven't done, I think. Aside from the silver one that I said we'd come back to. Right, silver one this way. A greater purpose. Ooh, I like this aesthetic. I don't remember having a puzzle on the water quite like this before. Ah, that's what I was looking for. Okay. How do I get through there though? So I can see, obviously there's a series of force fields with blue destination points. Have I missed anything else? I don't see how I'd get through there, that's the thing. Ah, I can go around the outside. Okay, that could help me get important information. Although it looks like I'm not in luck. Huh. Yeah, we haven't learnt much by doing that, have we? That's a bit odd. Oh, this must be toggling force fields. Ah, that is indeed what's happening. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I was just taking a moment there to try and figure out how this is even possible. But no, that makes sense. I get it. Okay. Then we'll have to do that slightly differently. Trying to think how I get the angle here. The angle that I'd need. I don't suppose being able to look through here is helpful. It might be, actually. Let's try connecting up to that one and seeing what angles we can get. Oh, that's not actually very useful. Never mind. I mean, it'd be quite easy just to disrupt the one. Oh, maybe not, actually. Huh. Okay. I may have spoke too soon. So what I'm trying to do here is just set up an alternator that uses the force field, because that will at least slow down the alternation by quite a lot. And the angles aren't straightforward though. I suppose I could bring this way. That still wouldn't work though. I'm feeling like a bit of a fool here. Like there should be a much easier way. Problem is, if I pull from here, well, to be fair, I can get myself round doing that. Okay, that was worth doing then. Yes, I see. And then, this is a double force field to stop me from doing what I was hoping to do there. Right. Okay. Trouble is, if I set this up, I don't think I'll be able to... Yeah, I can't then interfere with the beam from this side like I did previously. It interferes with the wrong beam. What if I move this a long way forwards like so? No. I'll tell you what might help though. If I could get this onto the other side. That's going to be difficult though. Since I need this connector, the one in my hand, to be placed down for the force field to drop. Oh, I can go back this way. That's interesting. Probably doesn't help me all that much, though. Out of curiosity, is there a position where... Okay, this one can't get power to the blue one on the other side. That's interesting. Because there's another blue destination point just around there that does that force field. That's what I mean by I can't get the... I can't position this connector in such a position so that it can also send a blue beam over in that direction. That's interesting. Because that means it must be the other connector, this one, that's doing it. And to do so, it would have to be on that side. So trying to get this connector through there does seem to be the right idea. The question is, what's the correct technique to do it? I don't have access to a red beam, so I can't very easily set up the sort of circuits which swap from blue to red and then stay that way or anything like that. Which makes this difficult, because any change I make with this connector is just going to be undone when I pick it up. And because this is a double force field, I can't use the jammer to help me through. Just want to check something quickly. Are we due any more equipment when we get through this one? No. See, it looks a lot like what I'm supposed to do is just use the jammer on that one, and then I would have the sigil? Yes. Wait, why is there a blue destination point there of all places? What does that do? Is that supposed to drop that one? Because I assumed that wasn't needed. Huh. That's strange. Because before I realised that was there, I thought I largely had everything figured out, except the one essential step, which is how do I pull this connector through here. I think once I get this connector in here, everything should just fall into place without the need for a connector here. So that's a bit confusing. So I can see in principle I could use the ladder to go back in here, and then I could pull this connector out, and then this would flip again. No, it wouldn't flip again. It would stay in the state it's currently in, and this connector would no longer need to be there for it to remain in this state. So in theory, this could then be walked through here. The problem is, because I'd have taken the ladder, I would now be in this bit, not this bit. Which wouldn't help. It's odd that this jammer doesn't seem to have any purpose, besides at the very end. I wonder if that's wrong. Is there some clever way I can use the jammer on this side? I don't think so, no. Not that I can think of, anyway. Does this charge instantly? Yes. Okay, that's part of the reason this even... That having this having this blue destination part charge instantly is kind of essential to making this puzzle work. Let's try what I was discussing earlier, which I thought wouldn't work. If at the very least just to... That's interesting. But I haven't achieved anything here because the moment I pick this up they swap back. But it establishes an interesting point. That I might be able to set this up in... I might be able to set this up in some ways so that I'm waiting for... a beam interference to take place, which would give me enough time to run through, but no, that doesn't really make sense, does it? I suppose what I would really need at this point is to have the default state of this being that it isn't connected, but then I'm using this connector to make it connect. That's where getting the jammer in here would help. Ah, I think I see the solution now. I'm only worried that the jammer may end up getting trapped in there, that's the only thing. So I now connect it up like so, and then this goes down here, breaking this connection. Which means when I pull this, the connection there will be broken and we'll be able to walk through with the connector. Excellent. And that's why we need a ladder here, so that we have a way back. This is making a lot more sense. Okay. I'm just thinking, once I take the ladder back into here, how am I getting back? I think I need to set something like that up. So that I can set up some beam interference again. If this goes wrong, I may just have to reset. I think I'm good. So if I block that, right, that goes down. Right, I should be able to dash through there now. Ah. I think this might just be an issue of timing, though. I don't think it's that what I've tried to do doesn't work so much as So much as I need to get as close to that force field as I can before I make a dash for it. Oh, that felt really close. That seemed a bit buggy, but we got through, nevertheless. Okay, excellent. So when I pull this, it all connects up. Good. There is a major caveat though. And that's that this one I really need to be visible from over here. So let me just move this around slightly. Right, I think that's going to work. Yeah, you can see how much easier it was this time once I remembered I could put this connector behind a wall and that it would still interfere. Right, I think we've got it done now. We'll have to see. Yep. There we go, that's another sigil. I am really curious what that does though. Oh, it is this one. So, that's interesting. So we didn't actually need the jammer to jam anything. It was only being used to break a connection. It could have been a broken connector and it'd have worked just as well. That's interesting. Actually, I don't need to go back this way, do I? No. So, just thinking where I should leave this. Oh, I don't suppose it matters. I won't be coming back here. I don't think. Right, there's another one done then. So somewhere about here there should be a bronze sigil that we haven't acquired yet. Huh. That looks like a... that looks like binoculars on a stand, on a rotating stand. So you can look out to sea. Interesting. You get those sort of things at the seaside, of course, and you usually have to pay. I think that's what it was. So where's the last sigil, which isn't the one that we were going to come back to? This way. Okay. Is it the far one down here by any chance? It appears to be. That's interesting. Don't know what that's about. Jumping the fence. Okay, we have a jammer. There's another jammer over there. And a fan that takes us over here, it looks like. Very odd. And there's another fan over there. Which takes us into this area. Does this stay down? No. So... perhaps I want this here? Actually, I probably don't. It'd probably be much more powerful to have this on the outside. Can I grab the fan part? I can't. Nor can I here. Maybe that's the whole point? I'm assuming I can't go over here with this. Yeah, that's by design. Okay, fair enough. I'm just thinking this whole section would be trivial if I had 2 jammers. And that's probably what I'm supposed to do. But the only weight I currently have, other than the player, or other the player character, is of course the jammer. Oh, there's an area up there. Which I don't think we've been to. No. That's interesting. That warrants investigation. Why is there an area up there? And could that be the secret to getting the jammer out? It could be, couldn't it? Yes, it very much could be. Oh, can I not? I can pick that up from here. Good, I thought I might. Still missing something though. Oh, I think I see the solution. Do I? Actually, maybe not. I was just thinking, if I got both jammers down here and I know how to get the other jammer in here, then it would become easy. The problem with that theory is how do I then get up here? Interesting. So clearly I could... Clearly I can leave myself away over there, but I wouldn't be able to pick this gemmer up from over here. So it still seems like there's a step missing. Yeah. Something I'm still missing. Might have something to do with the other fan over here that... Maybe not. I'm just trying to think what components are there to this puzzle, and are there any that I haven't used to their fullest? But now what? Okay, maybe I should have moved that a bit closer. I'm sure it's no coincidence I can jam this from over there. I suppose it might be, but I doubt it. I am missing something, aren't I? What was this called? Jumping the fence. Well, the only thing that's remotely like jumping the fence is this. But that's not much use. I suppose this? Okay, let's go back a bit. So remind me, where do I land if I use this fan? Here, that's not very useful. I could do that and leave this way, and then I wouldn't need to use this jammer there. I'm not sure this has gained me much though. Actually no, that's not quite true, because for one I've got this jammer onto this side, which is handy. And I do have access to this area, although there doesn't seem to be anything in here. So, okay, at least that aspect of things isn't an advantage. I can't... I can't really do much from here either. I'm concerned if I go down there now, I'll get stuck, because this jammer will be over here. I'm trying to think. If I could... If I could get in there now, I think I could do it. Or to put it another way, if I were in there now, I think I could do it. But I'm not. Because I can always get out of this area using the fan. That brings me back into this area. So there would be nothing from stopping me from moving the other jammer over here, leaving, and as long as this jammer was here I could come round here and then pick up that jammer using this one to hold the force field open. Because this gem is now redundant, technically. I don't have a way in there, that's the thing. Not without moving this one over here. Which I can do, and I will do just to look around a bit. But now that one's no longer redundant, that's the problem. If I were to move that jammer from the spot it is right now, I would no longer be able to get into this area from over there. I've little doubt jamming this is part of the solution. There's only two ways out of this area. Using the fan or using the reverse portcullis gate. The reverse portcullis gate is of very limited use because we need a weight. And it doesn't, and the only advantage it offers over the fan is that we can pull an item through there. Could that be what I'm missing? Like, they wouldn't have put the reverse portcullis gate there for no reason. So either I'm supposed to pull an item out of there, which is unlikely because I would always need at least one weighted object on the inside, or I am supposed to bring both jammers into this area. Why though? As we discussed before, obviously I could do something like that. But then I only have access to one of the two jammers, which seems a bit pointless. And in particular, that jammer over there is just fixed in position, it can't move. Because otherwise we have no way into this area. A very interesting problem. The fact this exists at all really makes me think I was supposed to bring both gems in here for some reason. The fact that I need two force fields down to use this area is also very interesting. I could technically bring that down as well. I don't know why I'd want to. Notable that I can though. I suppose, in theory, that would have provided a different way. I could have brought a jammer in here without using the reverse portcullis. I'm definitely missing something significant here. What's the name of it? Jumping the fence, and it's only a bronze. Is there any possibility I'm not supposed to get both gemmers out? I doubt it. If one of the jammers was trapped in here, then it's not going to be able to jam this. If it can't jam this, then I can't have a jammer jam that. So yeah, I think I am supposed to get both jammers out. Get that round there, but then I get a bit stuck. That's a point, actually. If I could find an angle that would let me jam this from in there, then I wouldn't have anything else to do. That, you know, the puzzle would be essentially solved. But I doubt it. Oh, that's another one of those low fences. That was strange. I can jam that from here. Interesting. Maybe that is part of the intention. But how would I jam this one then? Alternatively, if I could get this one in here, that would work. If it were on the inside. Right, there's no angle from in here that I can get the far force field that I can see. if I had this one jam that force field, I'd have a way in and out of here, which isn't dependent on this one. But that does seem to be of limited use. Tricky. Oh, maybe that reverse portcullis exists so that I can get a gemma out of here if I accidentally get one trapped in here. That would make sense. Because it always would have been possible to get a gemma stuck in here using the fan over there. So perhaps I've been placing too much emphasis on the fact that there's a way to get a gemma in here. I'm just thinking, if I could get to the position where I have a jammer on the far side jamming this force field, and at the same time I had a jammer here jamming that force field, if I could make both of those things happen at the same time, then we'd be done. Actually, that's not quite true. I'd have to be on the outside as well. Oh no, I wouldn't, because I could always take the fan out. That's got me curious. Right, this is where we run into problems. If I take the fan out here, I have no straightforward way back in. But I can do this, but then I'm stuck. No way in. I can go around this way and do that. But now I have no way into that area. Because as soon as I pull this, that force field comes up. So doing something like that is of no advantage. In fact, I'm pretty sure if I take that fan now, I just have to reset. I wouldn't be able to get back from it. This is now on the inside, keeping that open. So in a way, you could say it's self-sustaining. But then what? That all seems to have been a little pointless. What? Was that a bug? I mean, I think that's just won it for us, but I don't understand why that happened. It happened because the force field was up, so we bashed into the force field and then landed over here. Oh my goodness. I would never have thought of that. Well, sigil's a sigil, I suppose. Oh, that is diabolical. That's why that force field is so high. Higher even than this one. If I had been paying very close attention, I suppose I could have noticed that. But goodness. So this is the one we were stuck on. Actually, just to remind me, what was the name of the one we just did? Jumping the fence. I might actually add that to my list of particularly difficult Talos puzzles, because I essentially just got through that by luck. Hello Pengy, it's lovely to see you. How are you today? Oh, so here we are again. This will probably just result in the puzzle being uncompletable, but I'm confident that whatever solution to this puzzle exists is very out of the box, so I want to test a particular corner case just to see what the game will do. What I want to know is, what does the game do if I put a connector right on a force field? I'm imagining it's probably going to get pushed to one side or the other, but it would be interesting to know. Yep, that's exactly what happens. I'm fine, thanks for asking. Passed out on the sofa after a few days' travel. So you're on the TV now? Blimey. How am I? I'm doing quite well, thank you. Thank you for asking. Other than the normal frustrations of trying to solve particularly difficult Talos puzzles. And also making scones, so won't complain. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Is a scone what I would call a scone? A sweet baked good that's sort of partway between bread and cake? Or is this some different type of scone? Sort of like a slightly breadier muffin. Now last session, Slubzum did strongly suggest to us that the solution to this was very out of the box, and it used a mechanic that they've never seen used in a Talos puzzle before, in the main game or in the workshop. I think it is intended to be those at least. But I have the recipe from a Swedish book, so it might be a slight variation. Sounds delicious though. Very nice for a hot day. Jam and scones. Did your travelling go well? Yeah, I'm just going to level with everyone that's watching right now. I think this is going to take me a very, very long time to get through. I wouldn't be surprised if we'll still be here in 2 hours' time. Which is unfortunate. But all I can do is do my best. Hello again, Slubsum. It's lovely to see you. I hope you're well. The solution is logical, but it was not something that my brain would ever have thought about. Maybe it will be easy for you, who knows? Not everyone thinks the same. Thinks in the same way. I doubt it, because... 1, I spent all that time last night trying to solve this, and 2, I spent about an hour and a half today between the streams thinking about it and trying to solve it, and got nowhere. I investigated some interesting corner cases. Like, for example, I considered what happens if you have your future self, that is during playback, holding up a platform, and then you move them onto your past self, who's also holding up a platform with a connector on top. When the recording ends and the connector falls straight down, does it fall onto your platform or not? Because logically you'd think it might. Turns out no it doesn't. It just sort of bounces off the player. What else did I explore? I did explore the terrain a bit more. I noticed that we're actually really... The angle of view we have here is actually really quite close to the ground, as you can see. And I did wonder if I could possibly get a beam through there and short circuit all this. Turns out no. This wall is just barely high enough that it blocks any beams coming in from that way. What else did I try? I investigated whether you could have a connector that's like absolutely on the edge. You know, so much so that if this was real life it would clearly fall off. Whether you could have someone come up underneath and jumping up and down knock it, or even pick it, or even with a platform on top have it land on them. And the answer is no, you can't do that. I'm sure there were some other things I tried. Oh, I did discover one interesting thing, although I don't think it's useful. Normally, you cannot stand on top of recorders. Even though the top of the recorder looks flat, the game considers it to be sort of sloped in every direction, if you will, so that if you try to stand on one, you will fall off. But it turns out that that recorder is so close to the wall back there that if you try and have your player stand on the back of it, the player character, then they will be able to stay on top of it for quite a while. Eventually they will fall off to one side or the other, but you know, you can stay up there for, you know, easily 10 seconds, possibly much longer. And of course I tried setting up a connector from on top of the recorder, and yes, you can do it, but the angle isn't useful. You can't connect it up to anything that you need. So yeah, I tried quite a few different things, and none of them led to anything. Yeah, I was out for a job interview and it felt good, but it was a couple of hours away, so hotel and met a friend. Oh, very nice, you got to see a friend. I hope the job interview turns out well. No worries, I expect to be confused about the puzzle, but like watching and looking at the thoughts. I'd be more than happy to walk you through the puzzle. You've played the Talos principle, haven't you? So you know all the basic rules. So you'd know what a recorder would do, what a platform would do, and so on. So the problem with this one, Actually, let's start by just establishing what everything does. Obviously, the recorder and the platform do exactly what you'd think they'd do. This gap is large enough that your past self cannot jump up here. Only, so far as I can tell, only your future self can get up here by jumping on top of the platform that your past self is holding up. If that's wrong, and there is some fancy way you can get your past self up here, then that breaks the puzzle wide open. There's lots of ways this could be solved if you could get your past self up here. That said, so far as I can tell, you can't do that. There's a blue source here, a blue destination point here, and a blue destination point there. This blue destination point toggles this force field and this force field, meaning as soon as this one's down, this one comes up. If we come through here, you can see the sigil, and you can see another blue destination point. This blue destination point, unsurprisingly, brings down this force field, and we need that to be down to collect the sigil. That then brings me to this blue destination point up here. This blue destination point brings down this force field, and this force field needs to be down so that you can pass the blue beam through here. Now, if I connect this up quickly, the angles inside this little area have been very carefully chosen. Note, you cannot get a beam up here to bring this force field down from the inside. That's a really big deal, because that means that we are definitely going to need two connectors. In other words, we're going to have to use the recorder. We can get to the blue source from here, and we can get to the blue destination point over there. So as it stands, there is already a way we can bring this force field down using the recorder. Here's the catch. I need this destination point to have power so that I can get in here to set up another connector, which means this one must be the past connector, and I must be bringing the future connector in here. That's all well and good, I could do that, but if I did that, I then have no way through here. I've just blocked my only way through. Now you might think, oh, that's easy. All you have to do is say body block this beam here and then dash through here. No, it comes up far too quickly. So the obvious thing you'd want to do is pick this up and then redo the connection, so this connector's only bringing that force field down and isn't toggling these two. And if we had another connector inside here that was carrying the blue over to the sigil force field, we would be done. But the problem is, as I previously specified, this has to be the past connector, and there is no way for our past self to get up here. So in other words, our past self cannot get up here to change the connector in the past in the way we would need it to change. And yes, I have explored the possibility of trying to connect things up right over the far side, and then possibly my past self could pick the connector up or something. There's multiple problems with that, but one very obvious problem is that you can't get the angle on this destination point here. The other main problem is, of course, that if our past self is down there, they can't place connectors up here, even if they can pull connectors down from here. Greetings from Hong Kong. I hope everyone is having a good time here. Unfortunately, I need to go to bed soon. It is 25 past 12. Please continue to enjoy the streaming. Oh, thank you, Jenny. I hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you for dropping by. I'll just tell you this, the solution is not anything buggy. It's something quite logical, but never used in the game until this puzzle, at least not that I saw of. If at some point you want a hint, I'll try to give you one as cryptic as possible. I won't take that hint right now, but I may well do shortly. I've been confused about the recorder a couple of times. What happens when playback ends? When playback ends, then all objects that had been recorded cease to exist. They sort of just disintegrate. So just to demonstrate, I'm recording here. I can use the fast forwards button to get some more time on the buffer quite rapidly. Now if I begin playback and I pick this up, there's the past connector that's been recorded, and there's the past me, and if we just wait for the time to elapse, then they disappear. And it's notable that the objects end up in the final resting position of the objects is where you placed them during playback, not during recording. Incidentally, you can place connectors on top of... In fact, I probably should have taken that connector with me, thinking about it. Let me do that again quickly. You can place connectors on top of platforms, and they can be connected up when you place them as such. And so there are some puzzles that require you to have your past self walk around with a connector on top of them, and depending upon where they stand, they can connect up different sources to different destination points. That is a established mechanic. The problem is, I've tried it over here and I cannot think of a way to use it usefully. The angles on this side just seem terrible. You can only see this destination point, and I'm not even 100% sure if you have a good angle on this source. I think you can do it if you're up close. But that's all you get. You can't connect it up here, unfortunately. That was one of the ideas I had, that I could potentially... What if they jumped up and down? Oh no, I can think of another reason that wouldn't work. Because it would have to be the future connector that you place on top of your past self. There's no way for your past self to get a connector on top of their platform. I tried earlier, that's what some of those experiments were about. Like waiting for the timer to elapse, while your future self was standing inside your past self, both with a platform on top of them, and your past self with the connector on top of them. I was hoping that when the time elapsed, that the connector would just fall on top of your future self's platform. Doesn't work, it just sort of bounces off of them. So yeah, unfortunately, even if you could get the angles you needed here, it would have to be the future connector that's on this side, and that's no good. As far as I can tell, it has to be the future connector that goes in here, because there's no way for your past self to get the connector all the way over here, and if you left the connector in here when the recording ended, the connector would be trapped in there. Because you need to be able to send a blue beam to this destination point to get in there. If the connector was set up in there, you'd have no way in. About what I guess. Don't really have a real idea of using it though. That's alright. But more than happy to go through things. At the very least, it gives me a chance to think through things from first principles again. Good night, Jenny. It's so interesting what Slubsum says, though, about the solution being something logical but something that's never used. Because it really makes me think hard about what the different mechanics in this game are and what mechanics I haven't particularly been using. I know, for example, that one seldom used mechanic is the end of a recording. When a recording ends, everything that had been recorded disappears, and that can lead to objects, you know, falling down or changing position for some reason. But I can't think of a way to use that usefully here. Another thing I considered is the purple field. I could use the purple field to end a recording if I were to even graze it, let alone walk through it. The recording would end, but I don't see why that would be an advantage over just ending the recording directly by just clicking on the recorder. It definitely wasn't a mechanic intended by the developer, but it is logical and obeys the laws of physics. Interesting. I also considered briefly that force fields can be stood on and have things placed on them, but again, I can't really think of a way to use that. Basically, it's not some buggy weird stuff, just very out of the box. No more hints right now. I may ask you for some more shortly, but thank you for that. It's interesting you say that, because honestly this game doesn't always follow the laws of physics very precisely. Case in point, but I can do a better job than that even. There we go. Case in point. So presumably it's one of the things that it does actually do properly. Yeah, it's still a game. I mean, objects can fall. That's something that it'll do. I had been considering that though with my past self, having them hold up a connector and then having it fall when the recording ends, or having them throw down the platform. But with the angles we have over here, I just couldn't think of a way to make that work. Tell you what, perhaps a useful thing to start thinking about then is what are the moving parts to this puzzle, because there are things like the walls which never move at all. They're completely static. What can even change? The recorder itself I don't think counts. It's more of a meta mechanic. It doesn't allow us to... We can neither move the recorder, its physical presence in the world, and I'm not counting the knob because that's really just UI. And it doesn't allow us to manipulate anything in the world which we couldn't manipulate before. It allows us to double up items, but as I say, it can't be manipulated in terms of physics directly, and it doesn't allow us to manipulate anything we couldn't before. The platform is definitely a moving part here. Oh, the player, I suppose, the player character, I suppose, should have been the first one I mentioned. The player character is. The platform is. The platform's actually interesting because it's one of the very few objects which can collide between objects in different times when using the recorder. The platform in the past can collide with future objects. But you can't use it to knock a connector out the way, I don't think. I've tried that. The connector is another moving part, clearly. And the force field is a moving part. Or the force fields, I should say. There's obviously several of them. I think they're the only moving parts. The player, the platform, the connector, and the force fields. I don't think anything else moves. What I spontaneously like with this puzzle is the simplicity of the design, but still how hard it is. Yes, that's what a lot of people have said about this particular mod, the Rebirth mod. The mod developer is very good at setting up that kind of puzzle. I'm going to get something to eat. Be right back. No worries. I'm not overlooking anything, am I? It really is just those 4 categories of objects. The player character, the platform, the connector, and the force fields. And Slubsum suggests that the solution is makes sense in terms of physics, but isn't something that the developer of the original game thought of, or at least ever used in a puzzle. No progress yet, or at least no material progress. I've just been thinking about it. Okay, so we have the 4 objects that or 4 categories of object that I can think of that are moving parts. The player character, the platform, the connectors, or connector in this case, and the force fields. Right. With 4 objects, that makes 6 possible interactions, doesn't it? So, what interactions can the player character have with a platform? They can hold it up above their head, moving the platform, or they can stand on top of a platform that their past self is holding. Those are well-used mechanics. So I doubt that's part of the solution. How can the player character interact with force fields? There's 2 ways they can interact with them. They can be held back by them, because they can't physically move through them, they glide with them, or they can walk across them. But to walk across them would need to be able to get up top, which we don't have a way to do. So I'd be surprised if that's it. What about the player and the connector? The main interaction is that the player can move a connector around. Technically, the connector can also push the player around ever so slightly if they collide. But the interaction's minimal. Again, none of that is particularly interesting stuff. So, what about platform and connector? A connector can be placed on top of a platform, but so far as I can tell, it has to be a platform in the past with a future connector. I did some experimenting earlier. I could not find any other way to get a connector and a platform to interact usefully. I'm not 100% sure that was actually used by the original developer, Crow Team. It's possible they used it in some of their puzzles, I don't recall, but we have seen that used a few times in this mod at least. So I doubt that's it. Platform and force fields. How can a platform and a force field interact? You know, I don't actually know. I would be surprised if they have any interaction which isn't buggy. I mean, the sort of thing I could do is I could place a platform inside a force field, and then I could try to pick the platform up. I think if I could select the platform though, all that would happen is I would pick up the platform. I don't think I could use it to no-clip through a force field, and if I could, that would most certainly be a buggy interaction. That wouldn't be something that's intended. Yeah, I don't want to dismiss it too quickly, but I can't think of a useful way that a platform and a force field can interact. I think that only leaves one interaction left. I think that's connector and force field. And they don't have much interaction at all. I mean, if we extended connector to include the beams it produces, then yes, a force field can cut off a beam. We have been thinking in those terms though, and haven't come up with a good solution. But as for connectors and force fields themselves, the only way they can interact is that I believe a force field, if it comes up, can push a connector one way or the other. That's an interesting point though. I don't think there would be any advantage to it though. If I placed a connector here, I don't think it would matter. Whichever side it got pushed through to, I don't think it would have any good angles. I'm gonna feel like such a fool when I realise, aren't I? Oh, definitely not. Now I'm just trying to think through what other interactions can even take place. At least I didn't. But I was impressed that the mod creator thought of it. Is there something else here that I'm just not seeing because I'm so used to seeing it? Something hiding in plain sight. This is daft. I can't, like, target a turret with a connector, can I? No. Because there'd be nothing for it to do. I mean, beam interference, that's a very well used interaction. That's true. When I just went through all the different interactions, I didn't consider interactions with themselves. So how can the player interact with themselves? The only way I know they can do that is via a platform. And that's a well-used mechanic. How can a connector interact with itself? I don't think it can. Platform in itself, same. Force field in itself, the same. I mean, I suppose if you include the recorder, then a connector in the past and future just act like two connectors. That's not very special. Two platforms? I don't think they interact in any special way. You might technically be allowed to place a platform on top of a platform. I don't know why you'd want to, but that might be allowed. Let's find out if that's allowed, just... If not for any other reason, then just for curiosity's sake. No, you can't. Wait, where did it go? Oh. And a force field and a force field. Interestingly, force field states aren't recorded by the recorder. So that doesn't really apply. What other interactions could there be? Won't be long now before I'll have to resort to a hint, I think. I'm not asking quite yet. Can you reach the last blue receiver from the area just below the blue source, by the way? Oh, you mean here? I'd have to have a connector on the inside. I suppose hypothetically, if I could raise the connector slightly, that would also be possible. But I don't know of a way I could raise it. Actually, you said the last blue receiver, yeah. Yeah, if I could raise it, then yes, in theory that could be done. Yeah, no worries, Pengy. It's not obvious that a fence with so many holes in it would block a laser. Although now that I think about it, it is a little curious that this is such a short fence. I suppose it's just to let the blue source through. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, if it was as tall as that one, we wouldn't be able to get the blue in. So that makes sense. Yeah, no worries, Pengy. These trees appear to be partially incorporeal. I did consider the fact that we can block beams with trees, incidentally, but I couldn't think of any useful way to use it. Oh, part of me wants to just stubbornly press on without any more help, but I've had literally hours to solve this and haven't managed it, so could I have another hint, please? You know how you listed all interactions? Well, you didn't really list them all, and one of them is an interaction you never used in Talos before, even though it's a pretty basic one. Okay, that's interesting to know. I mean, there's gravity. I can drop things as well. I can drop things off ledges. Why can I not drop this all of a sudden? Does the game not like me dropping things once they're connected? Yeah, it seems like that's the problem. I could drop the platform. I could drop the platform. That might even be useful. Alright, time to do a few more experiments. I must remember to bring this back with me when I go back over there, or else I won't be able to get back up. I'll just have to reset. Right, so supposing I set something up like that. Actually, it'd have to be slightly further over if I wanted to get that as well. Maybe about here? Right. Now if I try to drop this, Can I get it to break the beam? I think that did break the beam. Why is that not bringing that force field down? It is, but it's only momentary. In a way, this is the closest we've been to a solution in a long time. But with how quickly this... Yeah, if I can't do that, then the dropping's not really going to help, is it? The next step would be to tell you one of the things used in the interaction, I suppose, when you want it. Not quite yet, but thank you for the offer. I may well take you up on that offer very soon. It's a shame that doesn't really work, because I find it super interesting that that mechanically it works, even if in this particular case it doesn't. It means you could, in theory, make a puzzle that relies on this. You'd have to have something that takes a lot longer to charge, but you could legitimately create a puzzle where dropping a platform over an edge is the only way to complete it. Actually, I have a better idea on what I could tell you when you want. That's good to know. I'll let you know when I'm at my wit's end. This can't land exactly on top, can it? And just rest there. I didn't expect it to knock it out the way. That does make me wonder what would happen if I was recording at the time. I can't knock it out the way, can I? No, the game's specifically designed to make sure that can't. That doesn't work. That's super interesting that I was able to knock it using the platform. I thought the game didn't allow those kinds of interactions. But I'd be surprised if that was part of the intended solution. That really would surprise me. Although... we were talking about that tree before. I probably could knock it into the tree such that the beam's broken. The only question then is, would that work with a recorded connector as well? Notionally it shouldn't. But now we've lost power up there as well, because it was this beam that was ultimately broken. Okay, what if I had it round the other side? Like, where would I put it? Okay, that was a little dubious. Ooh, makes me get ideas too. Not going to ask though. It's this beam here that I need to break. That's the difficulty. That's an idea. It could in theory fall in such a way that it blocks a beam as well. That might be difficult to achieve in practice though. Wait, am I physically pushing this? 'Cause I thought I couldn't do that. Okay, let's move this back in a bit. Don't think I really have the angle here I'd need. Oh, that didn't go too badly. Ooh. I might be able to knock this down the stairs. Okay, before we go any further, the next thing I need to know is would that have worked with a connector that was in the past? Because if that doesn't work, I don't think we can take advantage of it. Okay, let's take this out of the way. I think we're out of luck. We are, aren't we? That's a pity. Okay, some interesting corner cases explored. So, you know how you listed all interactions, well you didn't really list them all, and one of them is an interaction you never used in Talos before, even though it's a pretty basic one. Clearly, even if it wasn't one used in Talos before, it must... If the developers decided to put it in, it must be something quite fundamental. Something, if it wasn't there, the game wouldn't seem complete. That's what made me think about gravity. Even though the way they've implemented gravity, I'm pretty sure isn't entirely realistic. I could be wrong, it feels like you don't accelerate after a point, it feels like it's more of a velocity. Anyway. Momentum? But I don't know how to exploit that. Magnetic attraction? Can we eliminate a possibility? Just so you have a narrower field of possibilities. Change username. Chab and Chab were taken. Easier to pronounce. Oh, well. Thank you for the consideration. Yeah, we can eliminate a possibility. I'm guessing you're going to say it's not gravity. I want to do it anyway. I just forgot about it. But Slubsum had the advantage it made you sound like some sort of eldritch horror whose name couldn't be properly pronounced by the likes of us mortals. No, it's not anything timing based. Basically, it isn't something you then run. It isn't you do something and then run. Run like the wind. I ate a word. It isn't something you do and then run like crazy. Right. Well, to be fair, the gravity-based approach I was trying there, had it worked with objects in the past, wouldn't have required me to run like crazy. The one where I was using it to break the beams would have done, but if I could have nudged an object in the past to a different position, I could have deliberately placed it somewhere where it only had to be, you know, a few inches to the right, and then this beam breaks or something like that. But yeah, we can't do that. Still, good info, good info. I'm trying to think, what other interactions would there be? Most objects I can't collide with, at least not in the conventional sense. Most physical objects in this game behave less like physical objects that you can't occupy the same space as, and more as regions of repulsion. If you try to enter their space, and they'll just apply a force that pushes you out. I mean, there would be the basic laws of motion, but we can't really translate them to other objects very easily for the reason I just stated. But you know, there is at least to some degree going to be some concept in this engine of acceleration and forces acting on a body. The one with the beams, yes, just wanted to eliminate the one with timing so you don't waste any time thinking about it. The one with pushing, I think I noticed it with boxes. Not going to comment on it here. Yep, I think I'm gonna need another hint, unfortunately. Want me to tell you one of the items involved, or the interaction between them? I'm not sure, because there's so few objects here. But at the same time, the interaction between them might be too much help. Might be. I think the interaction might be a bit much, yeah. That's okay, I'll carry on thinking about it for a little longer. I mean, if we eliminate the player as a likely candidate, because the physics that the player experiences and exerts is a bit weird in this game, deliberately to try and prevent unexpected interactions or unanticipated. That pretty much just leaves the platform and the connector. I mean, there's the force fields as well. But again, that would surprise me if they were involved all that much. Look at those tiny little footprints on the platform. There and there. Like a little pixie and boots left them. I might quickly have a look at this interaction. I talked about it before and dismissed it. But it'd be interesting to see what it does. Right, so the platform stays there. I'm guessing that I just pick it up as normal. Yeah, that would probably let me pick it up from either side. Why eliminate the player? Just joking. The player is basically involved in everything. So he's involved by default. By that I meant the player probably isn't directly involved in the interaction, like for example by blocking a beam or trying to push something with their body weight, because of course, at least in the latter case, that doesn't even work. I suppose they could be involved. I don't know what the interaction would be though if it's not collision based. I'm pretty sure jumping on an object won't do anything. Doesn't seem like it. Oh, what sort of interaction could I have missed? That was me alt-tabbing out quickly when the sound went then. If you meant the player being a permanent active component in the interaction, then yeah, you are correct. He is not. The one idea I had that I don't know the mechanics about would be ruled out, I guess. What idea was that, if you don't mind my asking? Was thinking if the connector could be placed on the platform that the recorded version of the player carries around. I don't think both recorded players can be on this side anyway. Well, there's only one copy of the player that's recorded, and yes, if we could get the past player over here, the whole puzzle will be solved. I've actually thought of multiple ways that this could be solved if we could get the past player over here, along with the future player, of course. The puzzle would be ultra easy then. It would. I'm not completely and utterly ruling out the possibility that that might be how it's solved. That there might be some clever interaction that allows you to get the past player up here. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, isn't it? Either we're breaking this beam somehow in a more permanent fashion, or we're getting the past version of the player up here. I suppose one of the main things the past player could do is break this beam, but there are other possibilities once they're over. I can't think of any interactions that would impart enough momentum to get the player up here, which isn't something like a fan though. Nor can I think of a way to create a structure that they could climb, nor any way to lower down this this elevated area, or indeed to enlarge the player character so that they could just simply walk over here. I can't think of a way to do any of that. Yeah, but I think I'm gonna need another hint. I suppose if it's a choice between an object that's involved and the interaction, I'll go with an object that's involved. I have a bad feeling that this is going to be one of those situations where the hints either give away far too little or far too much, and there's not much middle ground, but we'll see. The laser. Okay, that's not completely useless, to be fair. It means that I can ignore the... No, that's actually quite useful. It means I can ignore the possibility of getting the past player over here, and it also tells me that it's not something indirect, like nudging a connector. Until it's in a different position, and that then changes the connections that it makes. So it's an actual interaction with a laser. What can interact with a laser? Other lasers, obviously. But we've seen loads of that. Physical objects. I mean, if it is a physical object, I feel like it's some physical interaction that you don't usually see. Because we've certainly done lots of body blocking before, and that sort of thing. What else would... I mean, I suppose, strictly speaking, if something happened to the destination point, that would work. That would interact with the laser. It doesn't really dismiss that possibility, because the laser needs to interact with something. Your past self could be, I'm not saying is, just saying that ignoring the possibility is not correct. I suppose, but there are loads of other ways I could solve it. If, for example, I had my past self over here, I could have them stand here with the platform, and then I could have them walk over here, and then my player could just, the future player could just jump over and ignore this force field altogether. So if the past player could get over here, there would certainly be ways of solving it which don't involve using the laser. If the laser has to be involved, not could be involved, must be involved, then I think that would dismiss the possibility of getting the past player up here. Yes, the assumption that your past gets there would make the puzzle very easy. We've used force fields to break connections before, so it's not going to be that. I don't suppose I grabbed the axe and fell a tree or something. I have a feeling I'll tell you the second object and it still won't be easy. Now the laser should be involved, so you need to cut the tree with the laser. Now nothing like the axe, everything you need is here. Yeah, I was joking, but maybe Penga's onto something. Okie dokie, what's the second object then? The platform. It was the platform. Okay, that's really interesting. I only know of two ways a platform can interact with a connector. The connector can be on top of the platform, or the platform can sever a beam. I mean, the two ways it can interact with a beam, I suppose. I could give you another hint, but I'm not sure it would be too much. I'm not sure if it would be too much. That's alright, I'll work with what I've got for now. What's doubly interesting is presumably the interaction is with the past. It is with the one of the beams coming from the past connector. I have an idea. Oh, maybe I won't get the angle I need. I don't think I will. I'm thinking I could use the stairs to prop the platform up and then have it break the beam, but I don't think that's going to work. Actually, I think telling you the interaction itself is better than giving you that other hint. Oh, I see it. Clever. Yeah, it's easy now, isn't it? Ah. Oh, I do feel like a fool for not thinking of that. Because one of the first things I thought of was, can I put something in the way to break the beam? And for some reason, just because the platform is so short, I just dismissed it. And I never thought, can I arrange the connector in such a way that I could make it possible to use the platform. Oh dear. Oh well, it is what it is. I think I essentially just have to wait here for ages, so we'll use fast forward. Excuse me? Of course, it doesn't want to work now. There we go. Best dash. Excellent! That's the final sigil. There is a gold star still to be collected though. From my point of view, the solution was too obscure, too out of the box to make me feel bad. I assume I pull that and then the turret activates and I have a problem. Presumably I can use the recorder to my advantage though. I'm pretty sure if I was tucked in this corner the turret couldn't get me. Yeah, that seems to be all correct. But it's still not obvious how I'd get that high up. What if you put the connector on top further back so you didn't have to use the raised rock on the upper platform? Would that work? You made it harder for yourself by placing it on the pillar. It was considerably easier on the rest of the wall edge. Oh, okay. I was actually thinking that perhaps the raised bit was supposed to be some sort of hint. Oh, I'm supposed to use the platform to get over there. Ah. And I think there is enough room there for my character to stand on the ledge. I could be wrong. That does mean I'm going to have to reset though, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Never mind. So let me think this through. Pick up my future self. Walk them over here. Let's hope they can balance there. Then we head back this way. We'll let them in. And hopefully we'll be done. If there isn't enough room for the future player to balance there, then this will need a different solution. I don't think there is. No. I've made a poor choice. Nope, got away with it. No, it was just the angle, but the pillar made it harder to place the platform, since it's interacting so weirdly with the more complex geometry. Oh, I do feel bad about not getting that. That seems so obvious in retrospect. Still, never mind. This is more of a mystery. Well, not more of a mystery, this is another mystery. Because, I need to be able to walk over here while the turret's on. I want to get some sense of its range. I'm surprised I got this far. Nope. Ow. Okay. So that is pretty much as I feared. Not many people have videos on Rebirth, but the few that are, none have solved this puzzle. At least I don't remember seeing anyone do it. 100% no hints. Well, I think it stands to reason that if this is on, my past self has to be stuck in here. I can't think of a way round that. Actually, I think I can. Yeah, I can think of a way around that using a recorder. I wonder how far away it can see me. Okay, let's do a quick experiment. We'll probably just get shot again, but At the very least, it should be interesting. Right, so we go over here. Right. And now if we wait here, our past self should reactivate the turret. They have. Oh, I can actually make it round. Okay, I think that's this solved then. Yeah, I think that's this solved. That was actually a lot easier than I was expecting it to be. Over we go. And that's the final star. Careful. Oh, thank you everyone. So, now we've only got the very end of the game to explore. How do I get out of here? Over here. Let me double check. Yep, that's everything. Right, let's go. Oh, that's because there's a puzzle in there that's called something like the mysterious case of the puzzle that broke when I uploaded the mod, or something like that. So that's not actually one that I haven't collected, as you can see from the top of the screen that all the sigils are there. But I will verify that quickly. I think it's through here. Yes, because they also used these signs that had fallen off as an indicator that they'd removed one. The curious case of the puzzle that suddenly broke when the author was trying to publish the map. Through here, maybe? Wait, what? This is back at the beginning of the game where I was betrayed. I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm not sure that's the way I'm supposed to go for the sigil puzzles, though. Certainly we should look into that at some point. Huh. So that's where I would go to do the star ones. Let's start with the bronze. I think it's just a way to get to the first star in case you missed it at the beginning of the game. Oh, that's very good. I was wondering about that. I think I said something about how that star wouldn't have been very good for anyone that happened to miss it. But they did think of that. Yeah, well, I went out of my way to make sure I grabbed it at the earliest opportunity. Because I wasn't sure if I'd get a chance to go back there or not. No, this Tetris puzzle, at some point you had the two L's in a way that's left a spot for the square. These won't fit in to let the square in. Oh, they will. Good, well spotted. I feel silly. I hated these puzzles, the bigger ones. Felt like a waste of time. Yeah, I can't say they're my favourite puzzles either. But to be fair, part of that may be down to the fact I never discovered any really effective strategies for dealing with them. I definitely got better with them because there are certain rules of thumb that you can apply, but I never found a systematic way of dealing with them. One very useful rule of thumb is that if you notice, all the different pieces are tetrominos. They're made out of four squares, which means that if you ever end up bisecting the area in such a way that you don't have if you end up bisecting the playable area in such a way that you don't have a multiple of 4 empty spaces on either side, then you've definitely gone wrong. Like here, I've got 7 there. Also, just generally starting with the shapes that you anticipate are going to be harder to place. Again, 7, so that can't be right. And 5 there, so that can't be right. Seven again. 6. Oh, close. But not quite. Hmm. Not divisible by 4. That is divisible by 4. Although I actually wonder if it could be the other way round. Hmm. Yeah, I think I'm out of luck here. Ooh. This felt promising. No. Can't quite get it. I feel like these two, the 2x2 and the 1x4, are actually two of the most difficult to deal with. Yes, got there. Okay, we will go through there. But if we're reasonably confident that this is just to get back to the star, I might give this a very quick look. So that's the android that betrayed us at the start of the game and had us shot by turrets. Yeah, I think this is literally just resetting you right to the beginning. Yeah, it looks like it. So presumably we'd just get betrayed again, I would assume. Well done. Wait, but I still had the stars. Well, thank you, Mouse Moose. This was a very good mod. Can I go for the stars? No! That's weird. Why can I not? This is actually playing a cinematic. This hasn't... Huh. That's strange. It's not the main menu. Even though it looks like it should be. Oh, that's annoying. I think I should be able to restore a backup. Yeah. Not sure how far back this will have put us. Oh, not that far. Not that far at all. Yeah, this is where we want it to be. Okay, so now we find out... This one's not too bad. Now we find out what's behind the sigil gate for having collected all the stars. Interesting. I'm not quite sure what I expected. Biochromatic entanglement 2. Is this every puzzle in the game? No. I'm not sure I want to walk on there. Perhaps these are just the puzzles at the very start of the game? Where Bacamel betrayed us? Oh no, there's quite a lot more here. Maybe this is all of them. Yeah, there was jumping the fence. This must have been like their testing area or something. Where they constructed the puzzles originally before they made them pretty. That would be my guess. And presumably these are just for getting around quickly. Looks that way, doesn't it? This must have also been before they added most of the star puzzles, since quite a few of those were actually in the hub area, outside of the puzzles. Huh. Interesting. So I think that is it. Yep, that does look to be everything. Right then. So hope you all enjoyed that. I'll be streaming next on Monday. And all going to plan, I'll be starting Baldur's Gate 3. I have decided that I'll do that as my next game. Oh, we need to adjust the thank you message. So thank you, Chab. I do appreciate the follow. Sorry I forgot to add you at the end of last stream. What else was I thinking? Yep, so I'll probably be starting Baldur's Gate 3. Should be fun. The other game I was thinking of doing was Legend of Corandia. I'll probably, if I can get that working and set up, I'll probably do that next after Baldur's Gate 3. Don't know when we'll come back to a puzzle game quite like this. The Legend of Corandia is, of course, a puzzle adventure game, so there are things to be worked out, but a bit of a different genre. Yeah, if anyone has any suggestions for games they'd like to see me play, on our Discord server, I have a channel specifically for that, where you can leave all sorts of stream suggestions. And I think that's just about everything. Yep, so next stream, Monday from 4 o'clock British Summer Time, and then on Friday and Saturday. Should that change, I'll announce it on our Discord server and on Twitter. So once again, thank you for coming everyone, and I hope you all have a wonderful night. Good night.